Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson at Clarence Park, where the Saints have ended a two-match losing run in National League South with a 1-1 draw at home to unbeaten Eastbourne Borough. The match got off to a strange start here, and we got a goal after 12 minutes, an opportunist effort by Ralston Gabriel, and then 2 minutes later they equalised with a deflected free kick. But after that it seemed a bit uninspiring where I was. I don't know how it was from the bench.
I said to the players at half time, I thought that was the best 45 minutes we've had since I've been here. So I thought it was excellent first half. I thought we moved the ball really quick. We worked extremely hard on training this week, on working on some of the stuff to get the ball from one side to the other, and I thought we did really well. Some of the quality in the final third wasn't great, but as I've said before, if you look at the pitch, a lot of the players are complaining about the length of the grass, and it's difficult. Ben Herts just said it there, it's like playing a golf shot every time we try and chip the ball forward. So difficult. When the rain came down I thought it was great because it obviously got the ball moving really well, but once it sort of dried up again things started to slow down again, and then I think second half it became a little bit of a drab affair in the second half, and we was looking for a spark, and I didn't think it come from both teams really in the second half. But I thought first half we did very, very well. I felt we deserved to go in more than one goal in front. We've had some really good chances, not hit the target, and probably that's our downfall in the end. That's why we've come away with only a draw. From the fact is we've come in at 1-1 at half time when we should have been, for me, 2 or 3 up by half time.
Eastbourne being unbeaten going into the game sounds impressive, but they weren't really a lot better than us, were they?
I didn't think they was better than us today. I felt we were better than them. First half especially. I thought we caused them lots of problems. As I say, we got in some really good positions. I felt second half they came into the game more. They caused us. There was more of a threat from them in the second half. But apart from one Charlie Walker effort, which deflected off Dean and went over, I didn't think they were really a threat in the whole game. And as I say, we had 1 or 2 opportunities. I mean, the players are saying there that Ben Herts' goal in the second half, he didn't think he was offside. He made the run from deep. I'd have to look at the video on that side of it. But we created 3 or 4 really good chances and just didn't really take them today. And that's probably the story of our season in terms of where we was against Hungerford. We scored 3 against Hungerford, could have had 9. We scored 3 against Western and could have had 9. So we've got to keep working with the forwards. We've got to keep working on them scoring goals, and hopefully we can turn some of the results around. What
about creativity from midfield? Picked up on it last week. Was it there today?
I thought it was there, especially first half. I thought David Noble put a lot in, Percy put a bit in. It's difficult when you're playing against 3 midfield players because they had 3 sitting in there as well. So I felt in the second half, I felt the two midfield really just nullified each other really. They stopped us playing and we stopped them playing. But sometimes, you know, you've got to earn the right to win a game of football, and today we haven't earned the right to win a game of football. But I was really pleased with the work ethic. I was really pleased with the way we tried to do. In terms of the pattern of play, we tried to, you know, execute some of the stuff that we worked on in midweek, and I felt it worked some of the times. In the end, you probably got to say that we could have shaded it in the end. They're obviously pleased with a point, but we have to take it. We've just lost 2 games on the trot, so it was important we didn't lose a third. But you know, we've got to keep working hard, and as I said, you know, last week wasn't good enough for me at Oxford City. I've seen a real upturn in terms of performance, in terms of attitude, in terms of aggression, in terms of working extremely hard, and I was really pleased with that today. Though we wanted the 3 points, we didn't get them in the end, and that's disappointing, but we created some really good chances in the first half.
Of course, last week at Oxford we switched off and didn't pick up the runner for both goals. No repetition of that today.
No, as I said, you know, and I keep saying it, and I keep saying it, and I keep saying it. We played too many games in pre-season. We didn't use enough of the time we had in pre-season in training. So, you know, we've had to work extremely hard this week. As we said, after this week we play Monday, and then we've got a full month really of no games, which is important because, you know, we have changed a lot of personnel, we have changed the way we play, we've changed the style of the way we play, and we have to make sure that we're getting balls in certain areas. But, you know, that's the way it's been. It's been important that, you know, we change things around from that side of it, and we've got to keep making sure that we keep working on what we're doing, and then we've got to take the chances when they come along. And that's, you know, we've had probably 3 or 4 really good chances today. They had 1 in the second half, and apart from that, Dean hasn't a lot to do. Some of the quality in the second half wasn't good. Some of our passing wasn't as sharp as it was in the first half. But we've started to force it a little bit. But in the end, you know, we have to look at the chance. I think Ralston had a chance in the second half. It's just gone past the far post, and Herts had his opportunity that was cancelled out. But in the first half, we've had 3 or 4 really good chances, and they've defended really well. They've defended for their lives at times. I know with David Noble got clear on the edge of the box. One of their fellas threw himself in front of it. So, yeah, disappointing we haven't picked up all 3 points, but you know, it was just been really important for me today. We nullified the 2 defeats.
During your time here, and you've used the substitutions really well and had good results. It's a bit mystifying to wait until, well, last minute before 4 minutes of added time before suddenly making 3 changes today.
I only made 2 changes today, so yeah.
Well, Danny announced 3 in the end, I think.
No,
go for 2 then.
They obviously wasn't watching the game as much as I was. As I said to you, David, it's very difficult because it was a tough game. And let's not have any disrespect to where Eastbourne are. They're 5th in the table for a reason. They've only conceded 3 goals all season. They've not lost any games. So, you know, as soon as I made the changes, I felt the changes there. We started to give the ball away cheap. Sergio Torres broke twice on us, and how was that to make it great? So it was difficult because, as I say, we was in the game. I still felt with the 2 forwards he had on there, we could go and win something and get a goal in the last few minutes. So yeah, sometimes you make changes, sometimes you don't. Obviously we've got another game on Monday. That's at the back of my mind. We might have to just change 1 or 2 people on Monday. So yeah, I mean, whether changes happen, whatever they do, it's just really down to the situation at the time. And today wasn't the right time to make any changes, I didn't think.
Last week, obviously, very honest from yourself about what was needed and what was wanted from the players. It looked like you got it today. I mean, how was their reaction during the week?
It was good. I mean, we've put on 2 really, you know, heavy sessions in terms of Tuesday and Thursday, and the players responded to it, which was good. And I just said to them there, that was the most pleasing thing for me, is that they responded to the sessions that we put on this week. They listened to what we had to say. There was a real energy and work ethic about what we did, and I felt they went and executed that, especially in the first half. Second half was tough. You know, as I said before, you have no divine right in this league of just turning up and rolling teams over, as we've seen today. Hungerford have beaten Dartford, and there's lots of little shocks. Chipping have beaten Billericay. So you can't disrespect any team in this league. You have to turn up, respect every team you're playing, take it with sorry, that's probably somebody just calling about the game today. But you know, we have to respect everything and every team in this league. And if you don't respect teams, then a bit like last week, I didn't think we really showed Oxford City the respect they deserve, and that's why we got beat. But we have to work hard, as I say. There's no divine right for anybody in this league to turn up and beat anybody, as we've seen today. As I say, with Chippingham beating Billericay, Hungerford beating Dartford, and there's lots of other little results there where people have dropped points. So I think we look at the table, we're sitting 16th, we're 2 points off of 7th. So there's not a lot in it at the moment. We've only had 6 games. This time last year we were sitting top of the table and everyone thought we were going to go and win the league, and we finished 8th. So we have to look at what we're doing. We have to take into consideration what we're trying to do. We are trying to change it around. Hopefully, you know, we will turn it around and we'll start scoring goals. But we've also got to look at everything else that we're putting on in terms of the personnel we're putting out there. You know, my begs today in terms of the forward players we had there, it was excellent, and we could have changed it, but I felt the 2 that was on there today did a good job. They worked extremely hard, and really, you know, you've got to get service to the forwards for them to score goals. I didn't think we really got great service into them in the second half. Where in the first half I felt we put some really good balls into the box and could have caused them a few more problems if we'd have been a bit sharper in front of goal.
And you talk about some of the results today. Billericay was mentioned, and you've got Billericay on Monday. That's now could make it an interesting game.
It's going to be a tough game, we know that. They've got some fantastic players. And it's not only just the fantastic players. They could quite easily put a squad out today and they wouldn't be far away from changing every player on Monday. And everyone will be fresh. So we have to take that into consideration. I watched them a few weeks ago, and they probably had 10 players sitting in the stand who would be good enough to fill anybody's boots in the Conference South, not alone the Conference. So we know what to expect. It's going to be a tough game. We've got to go there and make sure that we're difficult to play against. And if we take our chances, then you know we might cause an upset. But you know the one thing that's always going to happen in football: if you don't take your chances when you create them, you're going to leave yourself open to the counter attack, or you're going to leave yourself open to becoming second fiddle in these games, because the other teams will punish you. And certainly, if you give Billericay chances on Monday, they'll punish us, and that's what we've got to be careful that we don't allow them to have chances. You know, as I said, we've created 3 or 4 really good chances today, and we've not punished Eastbourne by not taking them chances in the first half.
David, did you any chance Monday?
No. Hopefully something might next Saturday, but again, you know, he's getting there slowly, very slowly. Last week was probably 3 or 4 weeks away. He's made great progress this week. He's done some extremely heavy work with the physio on Thursday and today before the game. So Monday no chance. Maybe next Saturday might be an opportunity, but we'll have to see where we are on Thursday when we get back for training.
Lovely, thanks so much, Ian. So that's a reminder then, Saints back in action on Bank Holiday Monday. That's the 27th of August, Bluntswall Road, away to Billericay Town, National League South. Kick-off is at 3 p.m.